This is the new Boox Go Color 7. And it's that way around, I've been reminded today. It's a Go Color 7, a 7-inch Kaleido-free device. I noticed a few things about the Kaleido free and the need to have the book super refresh for it to look really, really good. And well, one thing I'm going to do is I'm going to talk about reading graphic novels on here. This is the classic graphic novel, Midnight, All the Agents. This is Watchmen, and it's a tough test. It's a stern test for the Kaleido free technology, because as you can see, there is still a real issue with Kaleido free and ghosting, especially in the color areas. So I go out of this and I go to just some normal reading, maybe go back to Kindle and just go to a normal book. You can see text tends to look really quite good. The Wind-Up Chronicle is the other one that I'm reading. Yeah, it looks fine, looks absolutely lovely on there. 300 DPI, but then we've had that resolution at this size for some time. And you still get this kind of, patina from the color matrix. Linus described it was almost like denim when he zoomed right in and had a look at that. And it generally, the ghosting is well controlled here on everything apart from in the color information. I compared it to the Big Me, and we're going to do that today. We're going to talk about this compared to the Big Me B751. And I also compared it to the Tab Mini C, and I noticed that actually the Tab Mini C handled that color information and the ghosting there better than that did. And that's because it has the Boox Super Refresh technology. And it's not perfect, as you can still see there, but it is better. And I thought it was a really interesting comment that said, surely this is just a problem with the underlying technology, that actually Kaleido-free color e-ink isn't there yet. And I think that might be the case, actually. However, I wonder whether Boox actually maybe missed the mark here, and actually maybe they should have gone for the super refresh technology here on this particular device, this Go Color 7. There's been some comments about people who've had this already. They're having to do a full manual refresh every single page turn. So you can swipe up on the books and hold, and you can get a full manual refresh, or you can of course use this little icon I have ready to go each time. But that would be really annoying if every single page turn I did, I had to actually go ahead and think, right, swipe up, or even to use the little ball there, do a refresh that way. That would get quite annoying. And you see now all that ghosting is gone. So one thing that I'm going to say about this is, if you want this device, or if you want any of the Kaleido free devices, one thing I would say is you do need to learn how to manage the e-ink screen. You do need to be willing and interested enough to go ahead and go into the e-ink center and optimize the screen for your apps. I don't think there's any way around that at this point. You need to be willing to manage the screen. And if you don't want to do that, then you probably want to go ahead and buy a Kobo. I haven't compared it to a Kobo. I've been asked that a couple of times. So have you compared it to the Kobo Libra? I imagine it's quite a similar experience in terms of the screen, but I bet that they've got something sorted where it does look better with a full refresh sort of every page turn. And certainly that was the case with the Pocketbook, yet it was always trying to give me the very best look. It wasn't worried too much about speed, whereas these are trying to give you the animations, give you the speed, but you lose that kind of clarity on there. And I have had a good tinker around with this, and I've had a good look at, they've changed the different refresh modes. They've changed the names of them a little bit, and they've changed the different options at the top here to give you vivid and optimal. But really, you can see the ghosting in the color area just isn't great. I think it's obvious why that is, because e-ink has always had an issue with ghosting in the dark areas. With white text on black backgrounds has never looked as good on e-ink as black text on white backgrounds. And the way that the color is made is by actually darkening the subpixels, darkening the color area, darkening underneath the color pixels. So this blue is made by darkening the red and the green to some extent. So you're going to get that ghosting in there, because what's happening underneath that is the e-ink capsules are darkening the two other colors. So the fact that it's always had this issue with ghosting on black areas. It's no surprise really when you think about it, how it's working, that you're getting that ghosting in the color as well. Bit of a disappointment in some ways, I think. I think that you need to know that if you're looking at getting this and you're thinking about it for graphic novels. Sure, this is the best in e-ink right now. This is the best in color e-ink right now in terms of the screen. We're going to compare it to the Big Me and say whether it's actually the best device. But I wonder, on my first teaser video on this was, could this be the best small e-reader right now? I'm not wholly sure on that. We'll see. We'll see. I'm looking forward to it. And I think in that quick video, you should definitely go ahead and watch it. It really showed, you can see it here, that there is an improvement here. And I've slowed it right down to show you how in the color areas, you see his face just getting cleared up there. And some color areas are better than others. It's not clearing up so much in his red jacket. On his face, you can see the ghosting be removed in there. And that is because of the Boox Super Refresh. That's the only reason for that. And so you are getting those color areas actually clearing up. You see the blue background there. Started terrible and then gradually gets a little bit better. It's not got to perfect here, but they didn't choose to put that technology into this new one, into the Go Color 7. And I wonder whether they might have missed a trick there. And what I would really love to see, it's all kind of making me remember just how good the Boox Super Refresh is. And yeah, it's making me really want again the larger screens, maybe a color monitor from Boox, a 12-inch color, a 13.3-inch tablet soon as well, please Boox. I am going to be looking and working on some content talking about what the best small e-reader right now. I've got some other options that I haven't actually shared with you yet that have arrived.